The fifth Scream movie was officially released today, so in honor of my favorite horror movie franchise, let's make some cookies and Scream popcorn. Hi there foodie friends, my name is Carly and welcome to my channel Adventures in Yum. Before we get into today's video, I have a passion for learning about creating and trying new foods, drinks, and especially desserts. If you want to join me on my yummy adventures, then please make sure to hit subscribe and turn on notifications so that you'll know when I upload new videos every week. Now, let's dive into today's video. Today is the fifth and final day of Scream Week, so if you've missed any of the other Scream-themed treats I made this week, then make sure to check out those shorts videos. Before we officially begin, I have to ask one more time for this week. What's your favorite scary movie? We're starting by popping a bag of popcorn according to the box's instructions. Once the popcorn is done, set it aside for now. While the popcorn cools, we're going to create our ghost face image. This is totally optional and you can certainly skip this step. I decided to do it because sometimes it's just fun to paint with candy melts. To begin, I melted about 1 cup or 170 grams of black candy melts and added a tiny touch of vegetable oil so that it could just barely thin them out and make them a little bit easier to work with. I also decided to use a picture because I wanted some kind of reference, so I found that on Google Images, and then we popped that under a piece of parchment paper. I also decided to weigh down the edges of the parchment paper with some butter knives to keep it from slipping. Using a food brush, we're starting by painting the eyes, nose, and mouth using the black candy melts. Once that's done, we're outlining the shape of the face and starting to add the outline of the hood and shoulders. After we're done outlining, we fill it with black candy melts. We then let the candy melts harden. For this next part, I melted about 2 to 3 cups or 340 to 510 grams of Ghirardelli white vanilla melting wafers. When using Ghirardelli melts, I find that the consistency is always really good, so I never have to thin them with any kind of vegetable oil. We add a thin layer of candy melts around the outside of the figure and then finish by adding some to the face. Be careful to not press down very much when spreading this part out because the heat will start to melt and then spread the eyes, nose, and mouth. Once that's done, we're setting it aside for a minute. Before we finish this tasty movie snack, if you're getting value out of this video, then please make sure to hit that like button, click subscribe, and ring that bell to be notified about my latest video. Before opening the popcorn bag, tear a very small opening in the top, hold it upside down, and shake it over a bowl. I actually saw this on TikTok and I wanted to give it a try. While not perfect, it actually does help shake out most of those unpopped kernels so that you don't have those annoying little surprises later. If the candy melts have mostly hardened by this point, you can drizzle some of the vanilla melts and then dump the popcorn and spread it into a thin layer across the whole pan. We then drizzle more of the vanilla melts over the top of the popcorn. I was actually originally going to make this popcorn plain, and then I realized that not only would adding cookie pieces be delicious, but I couldn't pass up the opportunity to call this popcorn cookies and Scream. So I ended up adding 2 drizzle layers of vanilla melts and then crushed 6 Oreo cookies and spread the pieces across the top. I still had holiday Oreos left from the holiday season, so the red cream added a nice little creepy pop of red. Once we let that completely set, we place a piece of parchment paper on top and then another sheet pan and carefully flip it upside down. An optional step at this point is to paint an outline around the figure and around the eyes, nose, and mouth using the candy melts. You will have excess candy melts left over, so just save them for later for a different project. An optional final step is to take some red food gel and a teeny tiny bit of extract. Here I decided to use raspberry and mix them together. Using a food brush, get some of that food gel mixture and hit the back of the brush over the open white areas. While a little gory, I think this blood splatter effect finishes it quite nicely. I did decide to cover the ghost face figure because you never really see blood on him and this part does get quite messy. On a side note, if you directly touch the food gel, it will temporarily stain your fingers red. Break it into pieces and enjoy your scary good treat. I also wanted to say a big thank you to my sister for helping edit my thumbnail picture for this video to make me look like the original Scream movie promo picture. You can also find this cookies and Scream popcorn on my website, adventuresinyum.net. The link for that is in the description below. If you're interested in checking out some of the products that I used today, then please make sure to also check the description below for their Amazon links. I hope you enjoyed Scream Week. I know that I did, and I can't wait to try out some more movie-themed treats this year. And thank you so much for joining me today, foodie friends. I'll see you next time for another yummy adventure.